Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Sayla Jakeaway filling in for Briggs. We start with new updates just in this morning as we follow wildfires up north. This morning, the U.S. Forest Service provided updates on the current fire conditions. Officials say 2 new wildfires sparked after lightning strikes overnight. So far, nearly 69,000 acres of land have been impacted across the region as crews continue battling multiple fires. One of those new fires were reported near 493 Forest Service Road, where about half an acre burned. Fire officials say that area has since been contained. And north of Long Lake, another fire erupted. Crews are working to contain that fire today. Officials say there have been minimal fire activity on some of the larger fires near communities, and that includes the Sioux Fire north of Echo Trail and the Camp Fire located about 5 miles north of Winton. In addition, multiple northeast Minnesota counties will soon be under an enhanced burning restriction. The Minnesota DNR says Cochinching, Lake, and northern St. Louis counties, along with parts of Itasca County, will be under a Class 4 burning restriction. That means that recreational fires, including campfires, are banned. Prescribed burning on private land is also prohibited, and no burning permits will be issued. Only gas or propane camp stoves can be used at campsites, and charcoal grills are allowed at occupied homes, cabins, and resorts. Those restrictions will start today at noon.